What's going on, friends? It's Anton Daniels, and I gotta have a conversation with you guys about Tiege Hanley because you see how the sun is hitting me. This is no finesse, no makeup, no filters, no none of that. This is 100% Tiege Hanley. I use it in the morning as soon as I get up, right after I pray and brush my teeth, jump in the shower, and I'm hitting the streets because you never get a second chance to make a first impression. So even though they're giving you 40% off your first order, 20% off for life, even though you may get a free gift, forget all that, right? Because we would do this even if it was full price because it's worth that much. I'm in the streets, I'm kicking it with people, and I see Dusties everywhere. You don't want to be them. You want to separate yourself. And the way that you separate yourself is self care. Ladies get it for the fellas. Fellas don't wait for the ladies to get it for you. I'm about to hit the streets right now, and I'm feeling confident. I'm feeling great. I mean, I already got confidence, but to have that extra boost of confidence, knowing that you've taken care of yourself and you set yourself apart from all of the rest of the sheep that's walking around making bad decisions on a daily basis. And it's reflected in their actions. It's reflected in the products that they use. It's reflected in the people that they follow. And so if you're trying to level up, if you're trying to make sure that you look good, they're going to send you the pack. They're going to give you all of the instructions on how you're supposed to use it. Then make sure you get your Tiege Hanley. Again, 40% off your first order, 20% off for life. Get your free gift. Make sure you tap in with your boy Anton Daniels because Unc is never going to lead you wrong. I would never have you use a product that I don't use myself. Again, they've been rocking with me for a long time. Make sure you get your Tiege Hanley. I love you. I appreciate you. I'm going to holler at you guys later. What's going on is Anton from AntonDaniels.com. I appreciate you guys for continuing to rock with me. Thank you for tuning in for another edition of the Millionaire Morning Show. I am your host, Anton Daniels, and I'm looking forward to having a great show with you guys today. What up, what up, what up, what up, what up, what up to all of my friends and family that's in the building. I appreciate y'all. Y'all are absolutely, positively the greatest audience on the face of this earth. I am live streaming from a different location. I'm over in DC. So I got to take care of some business here in DC, and I got to make sure that that I'm on top of things. But I was actually thinking about it after a conversation that I had this morning. I'm just gonna wing it. I'm just gonna wing it. I don't know if I feel like living a traditional life as far as the scheduling and getting up at a certain time every single morning or whatever. I mean, I'm still gonna be disciplined, but maybe I'll work hybrid. Every other week, I may be in a different location, right? I may do the first few days of the week in the studio, and then maybe I'll do the last 2 days of the week in a different location. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? Like, what's stopping me? What's stopping me? My daughter is big. She got her own car. She kind of sort of got her own life. You know what I'm saying? She don't really need no assistance like that. What's stopping me? You know what I'm saying, Keisha? Most of the time, when I go to a city or I go to a place, I don't do a round trip ticket anymore. I kind of just buy a one way and then I figure out when I'm going to come back based off of my circumstances. And even if you get a round trip ticket, if you get it on Delta, for example, you can always go into the app and then change a flight without any additional cost, so you don't have to worry about that. You know what I'm saying? That's a tip for a lot of y'all. A lot of y'all be getting that travel insurance. That's a scam. That's just extra money that's coming out of y'all pocket. You know what I'm saying? But I think I'm gonna just start winging it on a daily basis. Why not? And not to the extent where you living like some schoolgirl that's on a European trip backpacking or something like that. But just in general, I think I'm gonna just start winging it. I'm gonna just be open ended as far as my travel plans, and I'm gonna be open ended when it comes to the things that I'm gonna do on a daily basis. And we're still gonna have structure as far as what we do from a business perspective because you got to take care of the business. But I don't think that I'm going to make any real plans anymore. I think I'm just gonna wing it in life and see where that take me. You book one ways, Dress? You said that's how you do it? Yeah, it's pretty interesting. I don't think I'm not
a big fan of living in hotels, of hotel life. However, I can do it for short spurts. Like if I'm in a place, the way that I travel, I don't want to be in any place longer than 3 or 4 days. 3 or 4 days max, and then I want to go home. I want to go home to my studio. I want to see what's happening. I'm not trying to be out in these streets for no long time. I want to go home. 3 or 4 days max, and then send me back to the crib. I'm good with that. And then you get things together. You take care of business. I still ain't signed my agreement. As crazy as it sounds. I got a really, really big payout that's coming from the place that I work or the place that I worked at before ultimately, deciding that I no longer wanted to work there anymore. And so I still got to take care of that. So I brought that with me. I've been going over the paperwork. I've been reading through it with a fine tooth comb and all of my documentation and stuff like that. So I still got to sign my paperwork to make sure that I get my big payout. But I don't trip. Like, I don't really care about money. It ain't really big deal. I sign it when I get to it or whatever. You just kind of winging it. And I'm really blessed for that. I'm really, really blessed. It's the reason why I tell people all the time, and we're going to get into the show. We're going to start with prayer and we're going to get into the show. It's the reason why I tell people to make the sacrifice for the first 10 years. Give me a good 10. Give me a good 10 years and you'll be able to do what you want to do when you want to do it for the rest of your life. Thank you, Sky. I appreciate it. I'm old school. Give me a good 10 years. The first 7 to 10 years, stay down, stay focused, lower your expenses. Ensure that you don't spend a lot of money on anything to impress anybody. Don't buy the big cars. Don't go get the big place. See if you can move back in with your parents. Get a roommate. Whatever you got to do, stay down for 10 years. It sounds like a long time, but it's people that do bids for 10 years. Then your credit going to be repaired. If you want to just be real, y'all want to get down to the nitty gritty, I say buy a car, cash, and let all of that junk drop off of your credit. 6-7 years, that junk is going to all drop off of your credit. You're going to be completely clear. You're going to be financially in a great space. And then you run that junk up. You put every dime that you have into investments. Every single dime that you have. If it ain't making money, if it's not going to make money for you in the future, you don't need it. For the people that's in your life, just completely eliminate them if they're not adding value into your life, or if they're requiring for you to spend money in order to be their friend. Divest yourself. You'll see them on the other side. Y'all need to have a season of productivity and growth. A season of productivity and growth. If y'all not just, at some point, you can't party your whole life. You can take a chunk of your life and then just stay down. Businesses, stacking, investments, focus, pushing yourself. Just take a season of your life and just stay on the grind. You will never regret it. You can take 10 years, 20 to 30, 30 to 40, whatever you want to frame it as. And in the next 40 to 50 years that you're alive, you can do whatever you want to do for the rest of your life. Then you doing it because you're putting points on the board, or you want to see your friends, or you want to go to the next level, but it's not because you need to. I love this game. I love this. You know what I'm saying? I don't worry about where my next paycheck is going to come from. I don't worry about whether or not I got to take PTO. If I want to go and get a job, I will. I can. I don't want to. I'm not interested. I probably, unless they give me a crazy bag, never go into corporate America ever again. I'm good. Second time retiring. I'm chilling. You want that. You really do want that feeling. You want the feeling of making sure that your daughter and your son don't have to worry about, we don't care about no fast. I'm not even going to fill out FAFSA. I'm not even going to lie to you. My daughter got one more year in high school. We never going to fill out FAFSA at all. She's going to college to learn some specific skills and then to bring it back to the companies that she's ultimately going to work for. As far as she's going to work for me, we already got her whole planned out. She's going to work for me, and she needs a skill set, and she also needs a background and a degree in a specific thing that I'm going to pay for. It's already funded. But to be honest with you, she doesn't have to go to college if she don't want to. No, she don't really have to. She's required to, because that is the standard that I'm setting in my household and for what she needs to do. But she doesn't have to. She's not going to have no debt when she graduate. People will kill you for that. People will then say, oh my God, you a Nepo baby, or, your dad is taking care of you or whatever. She's gotten that in school. And she'd be like, ain't that what parents are supposed to do? You know what I'm saying? Like, we're supposed, listen, your kids forget you. Your kids ain't supposed to struggle. Please don't put your kids in the same position that you are. Please don't. If they make bad decisions along the way after they become adults, and that's one thing. But do not set your kids up for failure. Good God. At least at least make the sacrifice for your kids, bro. And stop saying that just because your kid made it to the age of 21 that you did a good job. You didn't. You didn't. We got to do better, man. We got to do better. Anyways, let's continue to run it up. Thank y'all for continuing to hold me down. I'm going to read some of these cash apps and super chats. We're going to get started with prayer, and then we're going to rock out, all right? Shout out to Lorena B. Williams. I appreciate you. Says, look at the price of eggs across the United States of America. All right, I got you. Thank you, my love. ESDC, I appreciate you. And then Mike, that dude, thank y'all for continuing to hold me down. Why do y'all want me to update my LinkedIn so bad? That's what I'm trying to understand. Shout out to Jamal Fowler. I appreciate you for the fireball. Bishop Cam Nelson says, good morning, good brother Anton. Blessings to you. I agree. A good wife has to support the family vision, goals, and purpose. This protects our wealth. Bishop. Men Monumental Conference in Akron. Shout out to you. Service at USA LLC says had to go ghost mode for the last couple months to take care of business. Feel good to be back. Shout out to you, Service USA. I ain't seen you in a while. I appreciate you. Lion Dog Face Pony Soldier says, AD, one thing about Obama being deporter in chief, he deported people but didn't remove them. The deportation is just an order. They get deported, file an appeal to the IBA, and wait years for a court date. Interesting. AP says, are you going to update your LinkedIn? I'm trying to understand why y'all want me to update my LinkedIn so bad, to be honest with you. I'm genuinely curious. Why do people want to? The Bag Chasers in the last stock club, if you are part of the Patreon, in the last stock club, I actually showed y'all where I worked in, and I actually showed you my W-2. So if you want to see where I work at, if it's important, if it's that important for y'all to find out, or where I worked at, if it's that important for y'all to find out about where it is that I just recently retired from, then you're more than welcome to go and check that out on Patreon. Make sure y'all tap into the Patreon. Link is in the description as well as pinned to the top of the chat. Tiege Hanley, 40% off your first order plus 20% off for life. Let me see something. I don't know if I got it here. I might. I don't know. Nope, I don't have it here. So I don't know what that is. I don't know what that is. Again, if y'all want to know where I worked at, and if you want to know how much money I make, it's all inside of the Patreon. Link is in the description as well as pinned to the top of the chat. All right. All right, y'all. Let's go ahead and get started with the show. I'll continue to read super chats throughout the show. I appreciate y'all. Lord, give us a spirit of patience. Patience. That's the name of the game today. Patience. Give us patience, and not the type of patience that just allows for us to become lethargic and not focus, but bless us with patience and understanding that whatever it is that we put into the ground today eventually is going to grow in, and the seeds that you sow today is the ones that you reap tomorrow. But we don't want to stay down for 10 years. We don't want to hold it down. We don't want to be patient. We don't want to be diligent. We want everything yesterday. And then that allows for us to skip steps, and then we start doing stuff that's basically going to set us back. Bless us to be patient and allow for our lives to compound in a positive way. Bless us to recognize the people that's only supposed to be here for a season. Bless us to recognize the people that's only supposed to be there for a season or 2 or 3. But also help us to realize that we need to walk away when that season is over, and it doesn't mean that they're a bad person. It just means that we're moving in 2 different directions. Bless us to recognize when a person's season is up in our lives. That can be our parents. It could be our friends. It could be anything. Literally any. It could be a place that you work at that you're no longer supposed to be at, but you're scared of change. Seasons can be very much be a place that you work at, but you're scared to leave because you're afraid of change. Bless us to adapt to change. Bless us to embrace change. All right. In Jesus' name. All right, y'all. Let's go ahead and get started with the show again. I'm going to continue to read super chats throughout the show, and then hopefully you guys enjoy yourselves. We got a lot to cover. All right. We're going to go over to Elon Musk first. Again, I would encourage you guys to send this to your friends and family. And let's talk about Elon Musk, because there's a lot of people that are basically complaining about what's happening with Doge. They don't like it. I call them agents of chaos, though. I call them agents of chaos. The reason that I call them agents of chaos is because it does not matter what you do inside of our government agencies. They're always going to complain. They're always going to say it's something wrong. They're always going to have an issue. It's nothing that you can do right, even though you're doing the thing that's best for them. It's nothing that you can do right. But Elon Musk, and I also want to say this, the Trump administration has talked to the press every single day. Every day. The Trump administration has been making himself available to the press every single day. He has been the most transparent president that we've ever seen in our lives. And he has made himself available to the press, even to questions that come from the ops. I don't think that you can discount that. People are running out of things to get mad at Trump about. People are running out of things to get mad at Trump about. Let's dig into it. Make sure y'all hit a like for the algorithm, subscribe to the channel, and turn on your notifications. This is Elon Musk and Trump, specifically speaking to reporters inside of the White House, breaking down exactly what's going on.
Which is the bureaucracy, which has, in a lot of ways, currently more power than any elected representative. And this is not something that people want. And it's not. It does not match the will of people. So it's just something we've got to fix. And we've also got to address the deficit. So we've got a $2 trillion deficit. And if we don't do something about this deficit, the country's going bankrupt. I mean, it's really astounding that the interest payments alone on the national debt exceed the Defense Department budget, which is shocking because we spend a lot of money on defense. But and if that just keeps going, we're essentially going to bankrupt the country. So what I really want to say is, like, it's not optional for us to reduce the federal expenses. It's essential.
Let's stop there for a minute. We are basically paying between $1 and $2 trillion in interest. All I want to know is, how can I be a part of the investor that then get that interest payment that's from the United States of America? Because basically we financed ourselves into oblivion. We've put ourselves in a position to where we are all we're going to forever be. Basically, we ran the country, our previous politicians, our Congress. And I also think that we need to hold Congress accountable. Think about this for a second. You've had Nancy Pelosi, Elizabeth Warren, Bernie Sanders, all of these people inside of Congress for years. I'm not even going to put this at the feet of Jasmine Crockett. I'm not going to put it at the feet of Jasmine Crockett, AOC. I'm not going to put this at their feet. I think that they've been very, very bad in their ability to really approve certain budgets and get certain things done. But I'm not even going to put it at their feet. I'm going to put it at the feet of our previous presidents, along with Congress, right? And if you think about it for a second, we got to $36 trillion and growing in debt, right? $36 trillion and growing in debt. And they're sitting there talking about on these platforms of oligarchy and how we need to keep all of these government agencies open. Here's my question. Who's going to pay for that? Who's going to pay for that? Because eventually the interest payments are going to outweigh and over, like, they're going to grow. It's going to grow to the point to where it becomes unsustainable. And then who's going to basically bankrupt the United States of America? Because remember, your life is pretty much done. You dusty. And I'm not talking about you that's watching this in the chat specifically. I'm saying that all of these liberals that continue to just want to do stuff but don't have the, but yo, I know a lot of people in real life that really want to go and buy a Rolls Royce. They want a Cadillac. Who gonna pay for it though? You got money? She got money? Who gonna pay for it? Almost $2 trillion in interest payments is insane, bro. It's absolutely insane. And at some point, you had to cut off the spigot. We cutting off the faucet. We got to allow for people to be able to heal. And we need to fix America. And the only way that you do that is the same way that you do your own personal budget. We got to find out where the money is going. And more importantly, we need to right size our household. We got to right size the government. That's basically what this is and what we're doing.
It's essential for America to remain solvent as a country, and it's essential for America to have the resources necessary to provide things to its citizens and not simply be servicing vast amounts of debt.
And also, could you mention some of the things that your team has found, some of the crazy numbers, including the woman that walked away with about 30 million,
right?
Et cetera?
Well, we do find it sort of rather odd that there are quite a few people in the bureaucracy have ostensibly a salary of a few $100,000, but somehow manage to accrue tens of millions of dollars in net worth while they are in that position, which is, what happened to USAID. We're just curious as to where it came from.
I am too. I am absolutely baffled at some of these Congress members and some of these people that are in government branches that somehow is accumulated a net worth. They don't put in the same work as us. They don't own the same businesses. Somehow they always make the right play. They always make the right stock play. Somehow their wealth just balloons. They start these companies that's always successful. They don't have the same failure rate as the rest of us experts and people that's actually been in industries, and they don't have the same risk rate. And they only make $200,000 a year. They still pay their taxes, and somehow they've accumulated a net worth in the tens, if not hundreds of millions of dollars. How? Get out of here, bro. Get the heck out of here. We not going for it, bro.
Maybe they're very good at investing, in which case we should take their investment advice, perhaps. But just there seems to be mysteriously they get wealthy. We don't know why. Where does it come from? And I think the reality is that they're getting wealthy at the taxpayer expense. That's the honest truth of it. So we're looking at if you look at say Treasury, for example, basic controls that should be in place that are in place in any company, such as making sure that any given payment has a payment categorization code, that there is a comment field that describes the payment, and that if a payment is on the do not pay list, that you don't actually pay it. None of those things are true currently. So the reason that departments can't pass audits is because the payments don't have a categorization code. It's like just a massive number of blank checks just flying out the building. So you can't reconcile blank checks. You've got comment fields that are also blank, so you don't know why the payment was made. And then we've got this truly absurd, a do not pay list, which can take up to a year for an organization to get on a do not pay list. And this, we're talking about terrorist organizations, we're talking about known fraudsters, known aspects of waste, known things that do not match any congressional appropriation, can take up to a year to get on the list. And even once on the list is not used. It's mind-blowing. So what we're talking about here, we're really just talking about adding common sense controls that should be present, that haven't been present.
And one of the reasons that they're so mad at these young guys, these super young guys that's not tainted, that hasn't been a part of the system, that has no vested interest other than to do their job and find out where all of this stuff is coming from. They're so mad because it cuts off the spigot and it starts to uncover the processes. Remember, life is about processes. If I ran my companies and I had my books look like this, the IRS would absolutely cook me. speaking of the IRS, I think we're going to dismantle the IRS, but we're going to get to that later on in the show. You're telling me the Department of Treasury doesn't have accountability, line items, comments to know where things are going, nor do they really have any kind of checks and balances to make sure that people are getting the payments that they're supposed to get, and the social security numbers of the people actually exist. Tax ID, something. It's just these blank statements, these blank payments that's just going, and it's just going out anywhere. Come on, man. You expect me to believe that? How can anybody then dispute this?
So you say, like, well, how could such a thing arise? That seems crazy. When you understand that really everything is geared towards complaint minimization, so then you understand the motivations. So if people receive money, they don't complain, obviously. But if people don't receive money, they do complain. And the fraudsters complain the loudest and the fastest. So then when you understand that, then it makes sense. Oh, that's why everything they approve all the payments at Treasury. Because if you approve all the payments, you don't get complaints. But now we're saying that, no, actually, we are going to complain. If money is spent badly, if your taxpayer dollars are not spent in a sensible and frugal manner, then that's not okay. Your tax dollars need to be spent wisely on things that matter to the people.
Agreed.
I mean, these things, like, it's just common sense. It's not draconian or radical. I think it's really just saying, let's look at each of these expenditures and say, is this actually in the best interest of the people? And if it is, it's approved. If it's not, we should think about it. So, there's crazy things like just cursory examination of Social Security, and we've got people in there that are 150 years old. Now, do you know anyone who's 150? I don't. Okay. They should be on the Guinness Book of World Records. They're missing out. So, that's the case where, like, I think they're probably dead. It's my guess. Or they should be very famous, one of the two. And then there's a whole bunch of Social Security payments where there's no identifying information. Well, like, why is there no identifying information? Obviously, we want to make sure that people who deserve to receive Social Security do receive it, and that they receive it quickly and accurately.
I think that we may have existed under one of the most corrupt governments that has ever existed in the face of in life. We have to have existed under one of the most corrupt governments ever. There's no way around it, y'all. It's absolutely no way around it. Somebody that is 150 years old, ain't nobody 150 years old getting Social Security payments. People, they just remove just ghost numbers. People's just ghosts, just millions of dollars just going out every single month in payments from our U.S. Treasury, and everybody is complaining. Democrats are complaining and saying that we don't need people that's auditing the federal government. No, the best person to audit the federal government is Elon Musk with his team. And the reason that is because we know that you can't pay him enough money. It is nothing for him to gain from it. He actually cares about this president. He cares about this administration. He cares about the United States of America. He cares about the interests of the United States of America. He's run several different successful companies, both physically and electronically, technologically, across the board, innovation, research and development. He understands exactly what you're supposed to look for. Who else is more qualified than him? This is absolutely disrespectful. And anybody that's not looking at it like that, otherwise, I just question your sanity.
I'll tell you another crazy thing. So, one of the things is, like, we are trying to sort of right-size the federal bureaucracy, just make sure that this, obviously, there need to be a lot of people working for the federal government, but not as many as currently. So we're saying, well, okay, let's, if people can retire, with full benefits and everything, that would be good. They can retire, get their retirement payments, everything. And then we were told, this is actually, I think, a great anecdote, because we were told that the most number of people that could retire possibly in a month is 10,000. We're like, well, why is that? Well, because all the retirement paperwork is manual on paper. It's manually calculated, then written down on a piece of paper. Then it goes down a mine. And like, what do you mean a mine? Like, yeah, there's a limestone mine where we store all the retirement paperwork. And you look at a picture of this mine. We'll post some pictures afterwards. And this mine looks like something out of the 50s because it was started in 1955.
Jesus.
So it looks like it's like a time warp. And then the speed, then the limiting factor is the speed at which the mine shaft elevator can move determines how many people can retire from the federal government. And the elevator breaks down sometimes, and then nobody can retire.
It almost is like a bad joke. You can't. No. The limit of the amount of people that can retire in a month is only 10,000 because the processes for manually being able to, push this thing through causes for you to go up and down in an elevator in a limestone mine that was made in the 1950s. Get the heck out of here with this crap, bro. Get the heck out of here. No freaking way. Impossible. When I first seen this live stream and when I first started breaking this down, I said, what in the world in Jesus' name is happening? Honestly. Who knew about this? Why don't we have this level of transparency so that we can better understand exactly how our federal government is ran? I'm intrigued. I'm genuinely intrigued. I want to see everything. I want to know everything. But, if you leave it up to these raging liberals, they just want to put their heads in their hands and say, I don't see anything. Just make sure that everything continues to stay the way that it is. This is crazy, bro. It's almost like a car crash that you're watching, but you can't take your eyes off of it.
Doesn't that sound crazy? There's like 1,000 people that work on this. So I think if we can take those people and say, like, you know what, instead of working in a mine shaft and carrying manila envelopes to, boxes in a mine shaft, you could do practically anything else. And you would add to the goods and services of the United States in a more useful way.
Where can I sign up for the mine shaft job? That sounds like job security to me. I know that when Musk and when Trump got in office and they said that Doge is about to edit every single government office, I know the mine shaft people was like, oh, shoot, I guess the jig is up. If you were one of the thousands of people that worked the mine shaft job, for the 10,000 people that are retiring, you had to have stocked some money up. You had to really like at some point you was like, you know what? Over these last 30 years, we've been getting this bag. Over this last 40, 50 years, we've been getting this bag. At some point, the jig is going to be up. So we're going to have to get as much money as we possibly can and save for everything. Give me the mine shaft job, bro. Good God. Jeez, he didn't say like an underground basement. He said a limestone cave that got an elevator that they keep the retirement paperwork in that you got to go up and down in. And if the elevator break down and then a lot of people can't retire that month. Oh my God. Mine pictures are online. Mine shaft plus minus the cancer is built into the side of a mountain. Good Jesus Christ.
So anyway, so I think, that's an example. Like at a high level, if you say, like, how do we increase prosperity? Is we get people to shift from roles that are low to negative productivity to high productivity roles. And so you increase the total output of goods and services, which means that there's a higher standard of living available for everyone. That's the actual goal. No one's very quiet.
Crazy.
So people normally is quiet?
Your detractors, Mr. Musk.
I have to what?
Including a lot of Democrats.
I have detractors?
You do, sir.
I don't believe it.
Say that you're orchestrating a hostile takeover of government and doing it in a non-transparent way. What's your response to that criticism?
Well, first of all, you couldn't ask for a stronger mandate from the public. The public voted. We have a majority of the public voting for President Trump. We won the House, we won the Senate. The people voted for major government reform. There should be no doubt about that. That was on the campaign. The president spoke about that at every rally. The people voted for major government reform, and that's what people are going to get. They're going to get what they voted for. And a lot of times that, people that don't get what they voted for, but in this presidency, they are going to get what they voted for. And that's what democracy is all about.
Yep.
Mr. Musk, the White House says that you will identify and excuse yourself from any conflicts of interest that you may have. Does that mean that you are in effect policing yourself? What are the checks and balances that are in place to ensure that there is accountability and transparency?
Well, we actually are trying to be as transparent as possible. In fact, we post our actions to the Doge handle on X and to the Doge website. So all of our actions are maximally transparent. In fact, I don't think there's been, I don't know of a case where an organization has been more transparent than the Doge organization. So, and the kind of things we're doing are, I think, very, very simple and basic. They're not, what I mentioned, for example, about Treasury, just making sure that payments that go out, taxpayer money that goes out, is categorized correctly, that the payment is explained, that organizations on the do not pay list, which takes a lot to get there, that actually are not paid, which currently they are paid. These are not individual judgment decisions. These are about simply having sensible checks and balances in the system itself to ensure that taxpayer money is spent well. So it's got nothing to do with, like, say, a contract with some company of mine at all.
But if there is a conflict of interest when it comes to you yourself, for instance, you've received billions of dollars in federal contracts when it comes to the Pentagon, for instance, which the president, I know, has directed you to look into.
Yeah.
Are you policing yourself in that? Is there any sort of accountability check and balance in place that would provide any transparency for the American people?
Well, all of our actions are fully public. So if you see anything, you say, like, wait a second, hey, Elon, that seems like maybe that's, there's a conflict there. It's not like people are going to be shy about saying that. They'll say it immediately.
Including you yourself.
Yes, but transparency is what builds trust, not simply somebody asserting trust. So not somebody saying they're trustworthy, but transparency, so you can see everything that's going on.
I agree.
And then you can see, am I doing something that benefits one of my companies or not? It's totally obvious.
So what he's basically saying is, if you have a problem, you're more than welcome to go to the Doge handle to see exactly what we're revealing. Nobody is hiding from you. This is exactly what the people voted for. Why are you complaining? We're directing our energy in the wrong place. We'd rather complain about the person that's finding the fraud than the fraud. We'd rather complain about the person that is finding the fraud than the fraud. When did we get to the point to where that was more meaningful than actually finding the people that are finessing you and taking the money out of your pocket? I want to know who the thief is. I'm not really as concerned about the person that I'm tasking to find the thief. And I want to know where my money is. I want to know where the thief is. I want to know where my money is. I'm not as concerned about how he found my money and whether or not the thief is a good person or a bad person. I want to know who the thief is, and I want to know where my money is. And why are we complaining about that? Why is that something that we are having a hard time reconciling? And I'll tell you exactly why. It's a rhetorical question. We're having a hard time with that because there are so many people that are trying to prevent us from finding out what's going on, and they're a part of this corrupt government system. I think that we need to root out all government corruption for the sake of our children. Forget you. We have to do it for the people that's coming after us. If we can't do it for ourselves, do it for the people that's coming after us. 90% of every decision that I make in life is based off of what's best for my daughter, not for me at all.
And if we thought that, we would not let him do that segment or look in that area. If we thought there was a lack of transparency or a conflict of interest. And we watch that also. He's a big businessman. He's a successful guy. That's why we want him doing this. We don't want an unsuccessful guy doing this.
Right.
Now, one thing also that Elon hasn't really mentioned are the groups of people that are getting some of these payments. They're ridiculous. And we're talking about billions of dollars that we've already found. We found fraud and abuse. I would say those two words as opposed to the third word that I usually use, but in this case, fraud and abuse. It's abusive because most of these things are virtually made up, or certainly money shouldn't be sent to them. And you know what I'm talking about. It's crazy. So, but we're talking about tens of billions of dollars that we've already found. And now a judge who's an activist judge wants to try and stop
Activist judge. An activist judge.
us from doing this. Why? Why would they want to do that? I campaigned on this. I campaigned on the fact that I said government is corrupt. And it is very corrupt. It's very, very, it's also foolish. As an example, a man has a contract for 3 months and the contract ends, but they keep paying him for the next 20 years, because nobody ends a contract. You got a lot of that. You have a contract that's a 3-month contract. Now, normally, if you're in a small, in all fairness, it's the size of this thing is so big.
Yeah.
But if you have a contract and you're in a regular business, you end the contract in 3 months, it's a consult. Here's a contract for 3 months, but it goes on for 20 years. And the guy doesn't say that he got money for 20 years, they don't say it. They just keep getting checks month after month. And you have various things like that. And even much worse than that, actually, much worse. And I guess you call that incompetence, maybe.
Yeah.
It could be corruption. It could be a deals made on both sides, where the guy gets the money, he kicks. I think there's a lot of kickback here. I see a lot of kickback here.
There's a lot of kickbacks.
A tremendous kickback, because nobody could be so stupid to give out some of these contracts.
Yeah.
So he has to get a kickback. So that's what I got elected for, that and borders and military and a lot of things, but this is a big part of it. And I hope that the court system is going to allow us to do what we have to do. We got elected to among other things, find all of this fraud, abuse, all of this horrible stuff going on. And we've already found billions of dollars, not like a little bit, billions, many billions of dollars. And when you get down to it, it's going to be probably close to $1 trillion. It could be close to $1 trillion that we're going to find. That will have quite an impact on the budget.
Yes.
And you'll go to a judge where they handpick a judge and he has certain leanings. I'm not knocking anybody for that, but he has certain leanings and he wants us to stop looking. How do you stop looking? I mean, we've already found it.
How do you stop looking? That's the greatest question of all time. How do you stop looking? How do you find yourself in a space to where you're no longer looking? Why would you stop looking? Why would you stop looking for fraud? Why would a judge, come on, y'all, let's just have a conversation. Why would a judge tell you, hey, man, we're going to stop you from looking for fraud unless the judge themselves are corrupt? We in Gotham City, yo. We are in Gotham City, and I think that it's so bad. It is so bad. It is so negative. We asked a question, and then I'm going to move over to the next portion of the show, and I'm going to read the super chats also. We asked the question after the election, right? And we said, well, Kamala Harris raised and spent over $1.5 billion during her campaign, right? Right? Cool. Who donated $1.5 billion? Who are the people in the suites? Who donate? Why would people spend $1.5 billion? Why are they giving her this egregious amount of money? Are they patriots? Do they really believe in women's rights? Or is it to keep in place a system that allows for them to continue to run up a bag fraudulently at the expense of taxpayers? I donate too. Oh, it's way to me. I would donate too. I would absolutely donate. I would campaign. Listen, if you got the spigot on, and this is a waterfall, it's like manna from heaven. It's manna from heaven. You have this unlimited water source that's basically paying for your entire life, probably pay and put so many people through college, probably ensured that so many people got rich. You see all of these people over in Monaco during the F1 race and all of this stuff. And you got all of these people that's just running up a bag, right? Why wouldn't I say that I'm a liberal? Nobody knows nothing. Nobody's talking about it. I've been getting Social Security payments for over 150 years. Of course I'm going to be a raging liberal. We all trying to figure out, why are these people so against the United States of America? And why don't they want to do the thing that's in the best interest of the taxpayers? The same reason why we call this the Millionaire Morning Show, because it all comes back down to the money. You look at politics, they sitting there talking about, we're here for democracy. They're here for their pocketbooks. You want to know why all of these Congress people, they'll raise millions, tens of millions of dollars, and then clown each other. They be clowning each other during the Senate hearings, going off back and forth. Jasmine Crockett and Nancy Mace going back and forth with each other, talking about, yeah, you must having problems with fundraising. So we're raising tens of millions of dollars for these people to continue to run in a race so that they can get a $250,000 salary. Come on, man. Let's just look at it logically for what it is. They're raising tens of millions of dollars so that they can live off of $250. Why would people donate tens of millions of dollars for you to continue to keep your seat inside of the Senate so that you can make $250,000? For me, my small-minded pea brain, it just doesn't make sense. You're raising and spending millions to keep a seat. You're fighting to, listen, people fight harder for their seats in Congress, to be governors, to be mayors, to be whatever. They fight harder to keep those seats than they do to keep their kids. They fight harder to keep their space in these political arenas than they do to keep their marriages, than they do to keep their kids, than they do to keep anything. Boy, what? No. You're not going to take my seat in Congress. They ain't even tripping off that little salary. They ain't tripping off that. You can have my kids. You can have my marriage. You can have anything, but you're not going to take my seat. You ain't going to take my seat. Like, why are these people fighting so hard for these seats? Why is that such a big deal? Why is that so important to them? I got this sneaking suspicion that over the next 18 months, we're going to find out. Make sure y'all hit a like for the algorithm, subscribe to the channel, and turn on your notifications. Let's continue to rock out. I'm going to read some of these super chats, and then we're going to go over to the next segment of the show. Showcase Classic says, good morning, Anton. In the chat, Millionaire Morning Show, Anton is Bruce Wayne, and After Hours, Anton is Batman. Shout out to you. Best content on YouTube. Even when I don't agree, I level up and adjust. Shout out to everybody that's a part of the Patreon. Link is in the description. Molly, what up, Molly? I love you, baby girl. Thank you for holding me down. Whiskey Pierre Louis says, Anton Facts, a small but big wealth builder for those who do not have much as life insurance for the family. Pay a little now, get far more beyond you. I like that. Says, Anton, this is a genius move. Put the child in the picture. This gives you credibility. You care about the future. Could be accidental. I think not. Elon Musk got way more than 10 kids. Mr. D to the Z says, Anton, they is the craziest ish I ever heard of. This is exactly what I voted for. God bless Trump and Elon. We just want to see what's behind the wall. Shout out to Jerry says, auditing the federal government shouldn't be taboo. I think that we need to audit the federal government after every administration. How about y'all? And Elon has nothing to gain. Americans want transparency in the government, and he's doing that. Jay, shout out to Jay. I appreciate you. Chris Cunningham says he's the right person for the job because they effed with him for so long. Fraud, waste, and abuse in its highest form, says Jerry. Common Man 80 says, Anton, there are 6.5 million people getting Social Security who are 112 years old. Now dig this. According to World Population Census, there are only 10 people globally who are 112 years old. That's crazy, bro. Biden was selling dreams on student loans, and administration was playing Indiana Jones. Last hard copies are stored by Iron Mountain Company. Good morning, AD and bag chasers. People in a tizzy behind Elon not having proper security clearance. Who gives a D? Too busy majoring in the minors. Shout out to Dre with the K. I appreciate you, Dre, with the K. says, keep up the great work, AD. Have been watching for a while now, and I've learned a lot from you. I've made my first 100,000. Man, I wish I had my soundboard here. I made my first 100,000 last year and on the way to 150 this year. Back chances. If y'all want to tap in with the greatest group of people, we have an upcoming live stream on Block Club. If you want to tap in with the greatest group of people on the face of the earth, make sure you tap into the Discord. Link to the Discord is in the description of any of the most recent videos. Says Bag Chasers, we up. Link is in the description, y'all. Get it. Shout out to you, Dre. Congratulations. See, that's why I don't mind getting that little $50, you know what I'm saying? Because I know that you're getting 150 on the tail end. If someone saved you billions of dollars, wouldn't you want them to be taken care of? If Elon gains from his work at Doge, so be it. I'm with it. Mr. D to the Z says these criminals have to go to prison. Yeah, good luck. Ladybug Reseller says, how do you think Elon thinks finding all of this fraud? He probably pays more taxes than anyone in the world. He paid over $11 billion in taxes in 2021. I would be listen, if you need any other motivator to find out what the heck is going on and where all of your tax dollars is going, I think it would come from the person that paid the most taxes in history. Y'all trying to figure out, well, what is Elon Musk's motivation? He paid more taxes than anybody in history. He's basically one of the people that's funding some of these government agencies. I want to know where my money is going. Heck yeah, I want to know where my money is going. Wouldn't you? Wealth Builder Journey says, shout out to Trump and Musk and the Doge team for highlighting all of this corruption. See now why so many of these government contracts are lucrative. That was a finesse for a long time. Let me find out the government is handing out Bobby Vanilla contracts. Andre Farrar says, we all know about and want government to end the waste and the fraud, but Doge is doing it wrong. Find the fraud, then present it to. So you think that he should present the fraud to the very people that funded it? Nope. So you think that he should go before the very people that are approving these crazy budgets? So you don't want them. So you want him to bring it to the enemy, to let the enemy decide whether or not they're going to do. Ain't this the whole reason why we wanted to root out the corruption in the first place? So you want him to go to the people that approved the budgets and fought for it from their constituents, and that is funded by super PACs. That's what you want. Nah, we good. We gonna go straight to the people. We gonna go straight to the people, and we gonna move with transparency, and then we gonna see what. I'd rather listen. Based off of the stuff that I've seen over all of these decades, I want to try something new. How about we do something new? How about we do something new? If Congress cared about this, then they would have implemented it and fought for it. Think about it. Bernie Sanders, Jasmine Crockett, AOC, they're fighting against this in the first place. They're fighting against the audits. I guarantee you that Trump and Musk would be more than willing to work with them and have conversations with them if they wasn't fighting them. They're suing Trump and Musk to stop the audits in the first place. They're not saying, hey, we want to participate. Hey, let's find out what the fraud is. We need to hold everybody accountable, because this shouldn't be something that divides you based off a Republican or Democrat. This should be something that everybody wants, right? They don't want to participate in the process. They want to stop it. Think about that. Come on, man. Come on, big dog. Come on, man. We got it. We got to get to it. We got to get to it, bro. Come on. It's like Doge. We haven't seen more videos. We didn't even see this many videos during the election from Congress members. I ain't never seen Bernie Sanders on live this much. Not in my life. I've never seen Bernie Sanders, AOC go live. Jasmine Crockett is on every platform every single day. All of a sudden they came out of the woodwork. They wasn't nowhere to be found. Congress ain't never been this active in our entire lives. Congress be on vacation. Congress be chilling. I ain't never seen Congress as active in my 42 years on earth. After election, if it's not election season, you ever seen Congress as active before? I've never seen Congress as active in my entire life. I ain't seen Elizabeth Warren. Bernie Sanders is on live. Bernie Sanders is old as dirt. Bernie Sanders probably don't even know how to do a live. What? Get the heck out of here, bro. Get the heck out of here. It's like Doge just finding scratch-off tickets with the guaranteed money. Can't say with all of this corruption in the Biden administration. I'm really thinking back to those attempts on Trump's life now. Well, now, dude jumping up on the top of the roof and get the heck out of here, bro. Man, this all corrupt. Jason A-Team says it's clear as day we are basically fighting a war within our own country. Remember, enemies, foreign and domestic, bad actors holding us back. Mary Martin, I appreciate you. What up to my girl Messi? I appreciate you also. Is it me or did Ayanna Presley look like a Sith Lord yesterday? Anton, being as successful and intelligent as you are now, knowing everything that you know about money today, if you woke up tomorrow with nothing, $0 in your account, how would you get to your first million again? If I woke up tomorrow with $0 in my account, I would go and move in with somebody, and I wouldn't live for free, but I would pay rent. I would pay my room and board. I would get rid of every car that I had, and I would probably just catch public transportation. I would just catch the bus. I would go and get 2 jobs. I'm assuming that I still got my education, so I would probably go get 2 really, really high-paying jobs, and I will run it up. I'll run it up for the next 5 years. I could be a millionaire in 2 to 3 years, just off that alone. Without any kind of investments, without any kind of, you know what I'm saying, stock plays or cryptocurrency or anything like that, just minimize, cutting your expenses to zero. Zero. If I couldn't move in with somebody, I can live in my car. I have no problem whatsoever living in my car. I would move my expenses to zero. I would have practically no expenses. The only thing that I would need money for is food and maybe minimum room and board. I wouldn't mind going in and getting some roommates and being a part of a 4 or 5 person household where we split that up. You go back to zero. You go back to the mud. You go back to the grind. You cut out every single thing. Every single thing. You can stack a mill. You can stack $1 million in 2 to 3 years off that alone. After that, it's up. Yes, I would get rid of every car. Every car. What if you had no contacts? What do you mean? What if I got no contacts? That's why you're in the city. That's why you catch public transportation. That's why you interact with people on a daily basis. Go back to zero. That's it. For some reason, y'all think that it's a secret sauce. It's not. It's not. I'm running it up. Now I'm assuming that I'm not on social media, that I don't have any of this other type of stuff or whatever. I ain't tripping off that. I'm going back to the grind. I'm going to zero. It ain't no finessing. It ain't no secret sauce. It ain't none of that. With the knowledge that I have, man, I'm going to be a millionaire in 2 years. 2 years from 0 to $1 million. Well, if I still got all of the same plays that I got, then I'll be a millionaire in 2 or 3 months. So I'm not tripping off of that. But if I'm just a regular person, but I still got my education, I still got my LinkedIn, my background or whatever, going to the mud. Going to the mud. Cutting out everything. No going out to eat, no hanging out, no nothing. I'm gonna be up in 2 years. I'm gonna be up in 2 years. No interest payments, no nothing. No nothing. I'm chilling. I'm slow motion. I'm catching a bus every day. All I need is my backpack. That's all I need is my backpack. Give me a computer, give me a backpack, and give me 3 t-shirts, 1 button up, 2 pair of jeans, 1 pair of shoes. I'm up. I'm up. I'm running it up from right there. I don't even need a place to stay. I could take a shower at the gym. You know what I'm saying? I could take a shower at the YMCA. I'm chilling. I might even do a little bit of couch surfing. I don't mind staying on the couch. Have fun. Move over to the next place. Minimum payments. Everything is being stacked. Everything is being stacked. So y'all gotta get on y'all grind, man. Y'all out here being lazy. Oh my God, I'm so tired. No, bro, it ain't no tired. Tired. Listen, let me tell you something, bro. Want me to be absolutely transparent with you? A lot of y'all think that I live this crazy lifestyle. I'm gonna keep reading the super chat center shortly. A lot of y'all think that I live this crazy lifestyle based off of all of the money that I spend and stuff, right? I'll show you something. I'll be transparent. I'm going to be very, very transparent with you. I'm going to share this with y'all real quick. I'm going in my email right now. I got to make sure I don't have no sensitive information on here. Let me show you how I live my life. Y'all go out and y'all spend a ton of money. I don't. So I'm over here in DC, for example, right? How can I share that? Here we go. Let me blow it up for you just in case you missed it. This is how much my room is. That's how much my room is. I don't spend money like y'all. I don't spend money like y'all. My computer, my Mac Studio that I just ordered for my studio that I just recently got with the Big Mac monitor and stuff, that's all credit card reward money. Because I build houses, right? Because I build houses, I spend a lot of money. Because I spend a lot of money, I spend all of my money goes into investments. I'll give you another thing. I'll show you something else. Give me a second. Make sure that my Sky Miles number is not on here. Here you go. All right, I'll show you again. Y'all ready? My flight here is free. When I went to Miami last week, you think I paid for that? Listen, family, let me tell y'all something. Let me tell you something. I ride first class everywhere. First class accommodations for this room. This room is free. This is a free room, okay? My first class flight here, let me see if I can show you my free. I paid $11.20. All right. I'm only showing y'all this because I want y'all to understand how I move. All right. Let me see if I can show you. All right. I'm about to show it back for you. First class. I don't live life the same way that y'all do. Y'all out here trying to prove yourselves to these people and prove yourselves to these hoes and trying to impress your friends and your family and all of that. I don't do that. I don't do that. Listen, if it ain't coming as an offer, as a sponsorship, as a credit card benefit, because I spend so much money on my business card in order to make sure that I'm building houses and stuff like that. When I say that 95, 96, 97% of my money actually goes to my businesses and I have no living expenses, when I fly places, when I take care of business, I'm not spending money. If I can't write it off and I can't justify it from a business expense perspective, then I'm not doing it. So y'all out here thinking that, oh man, I got to keep up with these people on Instagram. When I post on Instagram and I say, oh man, when I post something on Instagram and it's like, fly in and all of this, and it's in my story and I'm first class and I'm eating good, they paying for that. I'm not paying for that. I learned my lesson in 2008. I am a stack king. I stack money like crazy. I don't buy things with my own money. These 80 shirts, you think I pay for these? You think I spent money on these 80 shirts? The only thing I spend money on is things that appreciate over time, or if it makes me more money. I don't mind buying this watch. This watch is worth more than what I paid for it. This shirt, this hotel room, my first class flight, that's all paid for. I don't spend money on anything. So while y'all over here chasing these people and y'all trying to figure out, because I'll show you the receipts. I have no problem showing my receipts. While y'all chasing these people and y'all trying to keep up with the Joneses, we not spending money like y'all spending money. And that's when I use it. And I'm gonna go over to the next story in a second. That's why I be saying, like, even when it comes to women and stuff, like the guys that they put in their phone as food is usually the regular everyday guy that go to work every day that's trying to impress her. Meanwhile, I may be on a first class flight. If I fly, all right, y'all really want to get into it? Let's say, for example, I fly a woman into Detroit, or I fly a person into Detroit to create content with. Do you think that I'm spending my money on flying her into the city? Do you think that I'm going to spend my hard-earned dollars and fly her into the city in order for us to create content? You think that I'm going to spend thousands of dollars on her flight? Boy, you have lost your mind. You spending money to put her on that Spirit flight. You spend more money to put her on that Spirit flight than I will to fly her first class into the city. Y'all ready to get back to the news? I'm trying to tell you, bro, I'm not the same as you. I'm not about to sit here and be in the same position as you. It's a reason why they keep poor people poor. It's a reason why they keep the middle class struggling in the middle. Y'all are on a hamster wheel. I'm just counting bread. I'm just going to count bread. Let's continue. Dog, I got a Dodge Charger that I'm about to get. And then I'm gonna cut this part out of the stream. I got the new Dodge Charger, right? Because everybody is killing it or whatever. I'm gonna sit there and I'm gonna say, yo, look at the new car that I added into my fleet. Dog, that is given to me by a future sponsor. Anyways, make sure y'all hit a like for the algorithm, subscribe to the channel, and turn on your notifications. Let's move over into the next part of the show. I want to go into let's go into immigrants. Let's deep dive into immigrants. I want to deep dive into immigrants. And then I also want to deep dive into ICE asking for money for migrants in order to continue to deport these illegal migrants out of the country. Hold on. All right, yeah, let's go here. I like this one. I'm gonna jump around today. I'm gonna mess around today because I got time. I'm chilling. I'm slow motion. All right, make sure y'all hit a like for the algorithm, subscribe to the channel, and turn on your notifications. Let's get to it and let's rock, y'all. Let's see what we got here. All right, we good.
First at 6, 2 brothers facing charges accused of sex trafficking women at a hotel in Lake Worth Beach. Good evening. I'm Felicia Rodriguez.
Make sure y'all tap into the Patreon. Link is in the description as well as pinned to the top of the chat, man. Let's get this money and run it up.
I'm Todd McDermott. Thanks for joining us here at 6 o'clock. Reporter Rachel Perry learned that it was a phone call from one of the alleged victims that helped police make these arrests.
We're told the 2 suspects in this case are brothers and are here illegally from Guatemala. And the victims in this case told deputies they believe the brothers were running several other brothels in this area. That's why Yudvin and Glyn Zuniga-Latin, brothers and now the suspects accused of sex trafficking 2 women at an apartment in Lake Worth Beach.
These are serious, bad people that are in people's neighborhoods, and that's the people that ICE and law enforcement is going after.
Court records show the men were arrested Sunday morning after one of the victims called 911, saying she was being held against her will by 2 men.
The victims were threatened that if they leave and did not comply with the demands that, quote, they knew what was going to happen to them.
Both victims telling deputies they were being forced to have sex with men on a daily basis. One saying she met the suspects at Miami International Airport where they offered her a job with phone scams. The other saying she called them after crossing the Mexico border and learning they would hire illegal migrants. And she was told she'd be cleaning homes in the West Palm area.
People that are being promised a great opportunity to work in America, and they take that to support their families and then come here in a really bad situation.
Laura Kuzak is an expert in human trafficking and says that's common, saying there's actually a visa for victims of human trafficking.
If someone's been brought here in traffic, they could, receive that as a resource, that if they cooperate with the investigation, they could be able to stay and have status.
Well,
let me, I want to highlight these 2 guys. I want to put their mugshot up here again for you guys to see. Because for every person that continues to fight for illegal migrants to live in this country, I'm going to tell you that it is big business. It is huge. It is a big business. It is a big scam. It's a big finesse. And one of the worst things that can happen, which Tom Homan regularly highlights is that it is a huge, massive amount of human trafficking that is happening all across the board. If you go into the airport, even here in Washington, right? If you go into the airport and you start paying attention, go into the restroom. Like when you get off the plane, go into the restroom. If you in Miami, go into the restroom and pay attention to the signs. I'm one of those type of people that are very much aware of what's happening all around me, right? And so the things that's on the wall are all things that are basically telling you and training you how to identify when somebody is being trafficked, right? It tells you human trafficking is a crime. It's one of the first things that I noticed when I went into the restroom right before I went in the baggage claim to get my stuff when I got here in Washington, D.C., right? And so they have all of these signs, and most of us, we are so not situationally where we don't pay attention to nothing. We always got our headphones on. I don't. When I'm walking through, usually I'll have my headphones on, but they not playing. That's a play for y'all. Pay attention to what I'm saying. A lot of times I'll have my headphones on. I know that Tulsi just got confirmed, but we're going to cover that tomorrow. I'll have my headphones on, but it's nothing playing. So people think that I'm not listening or that I'm not paying attention, or I'm looking at something in particular, or I'm playing some music, and I'm not. I'm being very much aware of what's happening all around me, and I'm situationally aware. I keep headphones in, but I'm not listening to nothing. And so I'm one of those people that read everything. I need to look at the signs. I want to see how much stuff costs. I want to see what's around me. I'm looking at who's coming in and who's coming out. And so I notice things that other people don't notice. And one of the things that I noticed is that in airports, in a lot of the airports where it's a lot of traffic going back and forth, major airports, Miami, Washington, D.C., Atlanta, Houston, all of those places, they highlight that it is a huge market of people that are being human trafficked, human trafficked all across the United States of America. There is a massive amount of people that are being human trafficked in this country. And I think that that's a part of the migration. That's part of the immigration crisis, is that there was a lot of money to be made off of people that they can then generate a lot of revenue off of. I absolutely think that that is a huge thing that was happening inside of the United States of America. Check this out. Now, considering that and considering all of the progress that we've made over the last 2 to 3 weeks of Trump being in office, we need to continue to fund these things. We fund all of the most nonsense trash, condoms in Gaza and Sesame Street to the tune of $60 million, and all of this money that's flying out the door. People are getting fake Social Security checks. Doge, up to this date, I believe, has already saved over $40 billion to the United States taxpayers. So why is Tom Homan and ICE now having to beg for money from Congress? From Congress, they fund all of this other nonsense. Now they got to beg for money for Congress to continue to do the will of the American people, which is our tax dollars.
Chairman, appreciate it. I was with Speaker Johnson at the Super Bowl Sunday with President Trump, and I told him, and I want to tell everybody in the country, I'm a huge fan, and nothing would please me more than one big, beautiful bill passed by the House that did all the things we need to do to make us prosperous and safe. That is my preference. Now, what guides my thinking is the problem we have now. We're running out of money. So we had Tom Homan and Russ Vought speak to the conference today, and I'm urging the speaker to invite them over and let them tell the House what they told us. Tom Homan said, I am begging you for money. Russ Vought said that we're running out of money for ICE. We can't rob other accounts any longer. Why do we need this money? There are 300,000 children that are missing we want to find. The sooner we can find them, we'll end their abuse. And they're being abused while I speak. So to the American people, if you want your government to track down these 300,000 immigrant children that are missing, we need more money to do it. To the American people, if you'd like to finish the wall, we need more money to do it. If you want a more modern border, we need money to do it. If you believe that President Trump is right to track down and deport criminal aliens and clean up the mess that's been created over the last 4 years, we need more ICE agents. They gave us a summary of what $175 billion would do. It would be enough money for 4 years to implement President Trump's border agenda, immigration agenda on the security side. I am a fairly hawkish guy. I am telling you right now, I've never seen more threats to our nation than I do right now. We need $150 billion to help the military yesterday, and that will be part of this bill. We'll have money for the Coast Guard. We're just not going to spend $350 billion. We're going to pay for it. So what will happen tomorrow, hopefully, we'll mark up a budget resolution bill that says the Armed Services Committee will come up with a $150 billion plan to increase spending to make our military stronger and more lethal. We'll come up with a $175 billion plan to secure the border. That will be Judiciary and Homeland Security. We'll enact that plan working with the administration. The other committees will be instructed by the Budget Committee to find offsets. So what will they do? They will go into mandatory spending accounts and find offsets to pay for this. And that's what we're going to do tomorrow. And why are we doing it tomorrow? After hearing these two gentlemen today, we're living on borrowed time. I've never been more worried about a terrorist attack on our homeland than I am now. Tom Homan said that the activity on the northern border is at an alarming rate. The number of suspected terrorist types have moved.
Let me emphasize that again. I want to stop there. I don't want to just skip over that. The activity on the northern border, that's Canada. It's one of the reasons that Trump actually levied tariffs against Canada and Mexico and said that not only are we sending 10,000 troops, starting with 1,500 troops additional over to the border, but we're also requiring for both you, Mexico, and you, Canada, to now send more troops to the border because it is a lot of increased activity and criminals are smart, traffickers are smart, and terrorists are smart, and people that's trying to get into this country are smart. They realize that we're cracking down in one place, so guess what? They're going to try to get in on a whole other place. And so that is one of the reasons why he's requiring troops to come to the border. I can't telegraph his past and always say, hey, this is why we're doing this and this. No, he's going to be transparent when the time makes sure that it comes, but he can't telegraph exactly what his strategy is to ensure that we are safe here in the United States of America. There's no reason why we should not be funding with all of the money that's already been saved, with all of the money that's earmarked to go towards these trash programs. We spend billions, if not trillions, on nothing, on nonsense. There's no reason. If Congress, because this is the same thing that Kamala Harris and all of her friends were saying that they wanted to support, we want stronger borders, we need Congress to send money. Don't hold up now. Don't stop it now. Send that money.
Move from the southern border to the northern border. After Tom talked about trying to find these children, half of us started to cry. You have no idea what hell these kids are going through. And the sooner we can give ICE and other people the money to free them, the better off our country will be. To my friends in the House, we're moving because we have to. I wish you the best. I want one big, beautiful bill, but I cannot and I will not go back to South Carolina and justify not supporting the president's immigration plan.
This is what listen, Democrats, let me give y'all a little bit of a hint, a little bit of a clue right now. To all of my Democrats, all right? I'm about to read Super Chat shortly. If you have any ounce of humanity left in that dark soul that y'all have been hoarding, Maxine Waters and all of these people that are lifetime politicians, if you have an ounce, even an ounce of humanity left in you, you need to get on board with this issue in particular. Yeah, okay, keep fighting for your transgender rights and keep fighting for the opportunity to delete a baby as a form of contraception. Stay in your liberal ways when it comes to other issues, but this is not an issue that needs bipartisan disagreement with. The smart, if you were smart, you would play it like Eric Adams. If you were smart, you would play it like Eric Adams. Eric Adams, Tulsi Gabbard, they all practically switching sides. And it was like, you know what? There's some issues that it seems like the American voters across the board, they all don't disagree with. At some point, you need to switch, pick and choose your battles. This is not the hill that y'all want to die on. This is not the hill that you want to die on. Let me read some of these super chats and we're going to get back into the show. Shout out to you, Anton, being a success. Okay, yeah, you said that one. Shout out to you. That was a phenomenal question. I might clip that up. AD, let's do some to pay the U.S. debt, start with $20 a month. I don't know what you talking about. Because I pay a crazy amount of taxes. Mr. Robinson says, remember when Slimmy said all politicians are corrupt? Remember when your friends told not to become a politician? Be like Elon and Trump and Elon, Anton. Let's see. Good morning, AD. Shout out to you and the Chaser. Shout out to PJ. I appreciate you. Real Christian Simon says, I like Trump. They never wanted Trump to be president. He is exposing the government corruption. Democratic politician didn't like that. Mark the Mariner says, the lawyer, bureaucrat, lobbyist class in D.C. is a free fall. Here for it. Bringing sanity back to the offices that are supposed to be serving the people. I appreciate you. Toya Creation says, I worked for the VA hospital for 31 years and ready to go. I'm 53 years old and ready to get out of that corrupt place. Dems keep trying to block it. Anton, the microphone sound really bad, bro. Does the microphone sound that bad, y'all? Y'all let me know if the microphone sound that bad. Because I'm streaming on the laptop right now. Devin Braxton said they are doing the first Doge hearing now in a video that was presented on the same things Donald Trump and Elon is doing. Kennedy Obama said that they would do it, but never got it done. They called it something different, though. Josh Shapiro, governor of PA, and the head of the PA state troopers are under investigation for the failed assassination attempt on the president back in July. That explains it, and the media won't touch it. I must follow up. Doge audits are fine. The problem is that the executive branch is overstepping its boundaries by unilaterally freezing Treasury payments. We have laws that freeze the payments. We want to see where everything is going before we send it. They said, I'm good. Oh, okay. It's just not your good mic. Oh, okay. So it's just lesser quality. All right. Well, we gonna make it work. I tell you what, I'm gonna take that feedback, and the next time that I travel somewhere, I'm gonna make sure that I bring an additional microphone with me. Anton, you're generous without actually being generous. If you fly a girl, it costs you $0. If you get her a hotel, it costs you $0. From a woman's point of view, she's like, oh my God, he spent all of this money on me. It's all about the experiences, baby. Here's the thing, Mr. Robinson. Don't tell her that you ain't spending no money. AD, I've said on multiple live streams that the DMV area is one of the biggest areas for trafficking, especially with MS-13. You have, Mika. Shout out to my girl, Mika. Y'all gonna see her on After Hours tomorrow. You got to talk Congress's language. Asking for $8 billion to fund a play based on Sassy Dusty version of Dora the Explorer. Mike Brown says, do your family agree with you on financial advice? My siblings don't. Do your family agree with you on financial advice? My siblings don't, and not trying to hear anything Trump do, even if they agree, like two genders. My family agree with me on everything financial. Marie says, I'm amazed at how Dems say reproductive rights, but people out here hashtagging fetus deletus. That doesn't sound like the small percentage of rape victims speaking. Zach in the building says we need to have these other countries send us money to help find their citizen kids. We broke. There are the one who allowed them to they are the ones that allowed them to pass over there in the borders. Shout out to Zach. I appreciate y'all. Make sure y'all hit a like for the algorithm, subscribe to the channel, and turn on your notifications. Let me see something really quickly. I gotta pivot 1 second. I want to go into I need to look up something because I mentioned it and I thought that I was gonna make it a part of the show. Let me see something. Eric Adams. All right. I want to deep dive into this. I'm gonna pivot really quickly because I want to share this based off of stuff that we've been covering Eric Adams for before. But Eric Adams recently did a press conference. He actually did one yesterday where he talked about the charges that's being dropped against him based off of what was leveraged. Oh, the mic is messed up. Is the mic better now, y'all? Is the mic better now? Let me know if the mic is better now. I don't know why I had that up. All right. I just fixed it. Was it like that the whole stream? Was it like that the whole stream, y'all? Audio. All right. Well, at least it's better now. Anyways, I had a different program that was open that was amplifying it for whatever reason, but hopefully it's better now. All right. So we're going to continue on with the show. Hopefully the mic is better, and then we're going to continue on. All right. Man, I'm mad that it sounded like that the whole stream. All right, let's continue. I want to deep dive into this Eric Adams conversation really quickly, y'all. Eric Adams recently had all of his charges dropped against him, and I want to go into it and have a conversation. Make sure you hit a like for the algorithm, subscribe to the channel, and turn on your notifications. Let's rock.
And we have breaking news right now. New York City Mayor Eric Adams is speaking for the first time since the Department of Justice told federal prosecutors to drop the criminal case against him. Let's listen.
My fellow New Yorkers, as you may have heard, the Department of Justice has directed that the case against me be dismissed, finally ending a months-long saga that put me, my family, and this city through an unnecessary ordeal. As I said from the outset, I never broke the law, and I never would. I would never put any personal benefit above my solemn responsibility as your mayor.
I don't like the sound.
It is worth repeating the facts because many sensational and false claims have been made. So let me be clear. I never asked anyone to break the law on my behalf or on behalf of my campaign. Never. And I absolutely never traded my power as an elected official for any personal benefit. No witness ever came forward publicly.
Let me see if I can get a better one. For whatever reason, I don't like the way that one sounded. Let's get into this one.
Report.
Good afternoon. I'm Rana Novini. We have breaking news. Mayor Eric Adams.
So let me be clear.
That's better.
I never ask anyone to break the law on my behalf or on behalf of my campaign. Never. And I absolutely never traded my power as an elected official for any personal benefit. No witness ever came forward publicly to make claims against me. None of the baseless threats from prosecutors of new charges and new evidence ever materialized. And this case will no longer continue. Psalms 34:1 says,
"Oh no!
Bless the Lord." At all times.
You're not gonna be quoting scripture. How come they want to quote scripture when they finally beat the charges? No, dog. No, dog. You're not gonna start quoting scripture now. Nope. No, he didn't bring out the scriptures. Psalms 31 says, "Stop it, big dog. Stop it." Listen, I think that 100% of everything that they tried to do against him, and I've been saying it for a long time. Trump said it when he got in office. I think that everything that they tried to do against Eric Adams was to punish him for no longer participating in the migrant crisis and for finally saying something about what was going on. I think that he was being railroaded when they tried to pull that case up against him and they tried to make it seem like, oh, no, we're just prosecuting him because we need to hold every politician accountable. It was nonsense. It was nonsense. When you actually read the case and they brought it out, you was thinking to yourself, what? What are they prosecuting him again for? I had to deep dive into it. Wait a minute. He got an upgrade on a flight that he was already taking? What is going on? And he basically went on Tucker Carlson and he said it from the beginning, and I got to give him some credit. He said, listen, they railroad me and they doing me dirty because I don't no longer want to play ball. Now, on the flip side, you have Brandon Johnson. He's standing 10 toes down. He's standing 10 toes down. He is not pivoting. He is not moving off of it. He said, I am going to stick around for this. The whole boat is sinking. Biden then got off of it. Kamala Harris then got off of it. Eric Adams then got off of it. Eric Adams beat the case. Eric Adams might be the Teflon Don. He made the right pivot at the right time. He's seen the writing on the wall. When Trump became president of the United States of America, he said, yeah. But let's be clear. Let's be crystal clear. Eric Adams is no saint. Not even a little bit. Eric Adams is no saint. Not even a tiny bit. Not even a little bit of a saint. He very much participated until he felt like it was too much, until the money wasn't flowing anymore. If Biden had been somehow convincing Congress to continue to fund the migrant crisis, then he would have still been on board, I believe. And they would have been saying, you a good Democrat, Eric. You a good. If they would have helped, if they would have continued to fund it, he would have still been on board. Let's be clear. But since he did jump off board, they put them fake charges up against him, and he beat the charges. So you got to give him credit. You got to be honest and give him credit, but don't start quoting scripture to me, big dog.
Times his praise shall continually be in my mouth. So I thank the Justice Department for its honesty. Now we can put this cruel episode behind us and focus entirely on the future of our city.
Oh my God.
It's time to move forward. But despite the fact that I am no longer facing legal questions, I also understand that many New Yorkers will still question my character. And I know that I must continue to regain your trust. I've learned a lot over the last year, and this experience has been humbling. But as we have been dragged through this unfortunate prosecution, I never took my eyes off what was important, you and your family's future. And because of that, our city government has never been stronger. Just look at the figures. We have achieved record drops in crime, record increases in
That y'all
affordable
created.
housing, and the highest number of jobs.
Y'all created this market that you're now starting to try to take credit for. Listen, you can't create the thing that you didn't solve for. It's almost like I'm going to create a budget deficit that I know how to solve for so that I could take the credit for eventually fixing the problem that I created. Look at this. If you look over year, we're actually generating way more revenue. Well, that's because you was a POS the year before. You embraced the migrant crisis. Y'all embraced the pandemic. I want to see what the findings are on a pandemic. All of this is a finesse. All of this is a fleece. It's nonsense, bro.
In New York City history. And I want to repeat that. Double-digit drops in shootings, homicides, and subway crimes. It's the most new housing built in a 3-year period ever, and the most jobs ever. We moved more than 185,000 migrants through our system and out of our care. We helped put $30 billion back into the pockets of New Yorkers through direct assistance. And we enrolled more children than ever into early childhood education programs while reducing the cost of childcare to less than 1/10 of what it was when we came into office for working families.
All trash.
We put thousands of new police officers on our streets. And
this is now Eric Adams basically petitioning for y'all vote. I think that New Yorkers are going to wind up voting Eric Adams back in the office again. 1,000%. I think that New Yorkers are going to vote Eric Adams back in the office again. Absolutely. Without a doubt. This is now him going into his campaign speech for mayor.
In our subways. And we connected thousands struggling with mental illness to services.
And hold on. Before we continue.
Hidden beneath.
Here's the thing, because I see people. I know we got a lot of people in here from New York, right? I know we got a lot of people all over the country. Here's the thing that I'm asking y'all. Because some of y'all are saying that we don't want them back. We don't want them back. Cool. They said the same thing to Lori Lightfoot over in Chicago. And you know what y'all got? Brandon Johnson. I'm not saying that Lori Lightfoot is even remotely good as a mayor, but God, look at who y'all replaced her with. It's 10 times worse. You should never say you don't want something until you have a replacement for it. Because if y'all get another raging liberal, which I don't even think that Eric Adams is that liberal, to be honest with you, at least as much as I criticize him, I have to give him some credit to actually standing up to the Biden administration that then threw a bunch of false charges on him, right? Never say you want something to be gone unless you have a replacement for it. Because you might get something 10 times worse. What is the alternative? Because I seen y'all election race and y'all ain't got nothing but clown shows that's trying to run for to get elected over there in New York. Y'all don't have anything but a bunch of even more liberal clowns that is trying to replace Eric Adams. And so y'all may say, okay, well, listen, I don't want Eric Adams, but who is the alternative? Unless you give me a good alternative, I don't want to hear about what you don't want from Eric Adams. Because then you're going to end up like Chicago.
All the shocking headlines full of rumors and accusations, all the innuendos and insinuations. The real news is that the women and men of my administration have delivered for the working people of New York, just like I promised we would. Those are the facts. Many people continue to feed whatever false narratives they want, but no one can dispute the numbers.
Hell no. Not
continue to improve those.
If the alternative is Jumaine Williams, Jumane, I actually reviewed one of the videos. I'd love to have a conversation with him now. Now that everything started shaking out, I want to see what Jumaine Williams got to say.
Those numbers even more month after month and dedicating myself to the values and fights that New Yorkers believe in is how I will restore the faith in those who have lost it in me. And it would be how I reward the faith of those who believed in me for 4 years ago. Giving hope again to all New Yorkers who want to see their city thrive. If you want to know who I am, all you have to know about me is where I am from. Who I am is not in the headlines. It is in my history. It's the same place as you, working class, struggling to survive. in love with this city, even when it lets us down. I grew up in a place where justice always seemed out of reach.
I don't know if the speech is horrible or if his ability to read the speech is horrible, but J.D. Vance is much different than Eric Adams and Brandon Johnson. It's almost like he's straight up reading from a script and the teleprompter that's not moving fast enough for his eyes to read it. That's what it sounds like.
My family was betrayed by a city that didn't care enough about us. And that's why I fought for you and will keep fighting for you. Because I am you. And that is why you can trust me to keep moving this city forward.
I am you.
This has been the most difficult 15 months of my life. But my inspiration was knowing I was fighting for the people of this city. So many of those people are still facing their own difficult challenges every day, just like my own mother did when she worked 3 jobs to raise 6 children.
Oh, God.
If you work hard enough, New York City should give you a chance to succeed. This is our great promise. This is my promise to you. Hard work, real results. In a city, and a mayor you can be proud of. Thank you, New York.
And cut. That is Eric Adams basically giving his pitch to be mayor of New York again. And that is him also highlighting how he beat the charges. And I know that the Biden and Kamala Harris administration has to be absolutely disgusted at how everything is playing out. Make sure y'all continue to hit a like for the algorithm, subscribe to the channel, and turn on your notifications. Let me read some of these super chats, and then we're going to go on from there. Appreciate y'all. Viper Venom says, skipped my super chat. I did. Did I spell the sauce on a secret project? Viper Venom, did I skip your super chat? I'm sorry, Viper Venom. I apologize if I skipped your super chat. I didn't mean to, my friend. Latrell M, I appreciate you. Thank you, my friend. There is something about Eric that I don't trust. There's a lot about Eric that I don't trust. He has no business being a mayor. He sold out NYC. Okay, who's the alternative is what I want to know. Who is the alternative? That's what I want to know. Eric Adams says, Siri, play no weapon. There is no weapon. Play No Weapon Formed Against Me by Fred Happen. Anton singing chorus for him. I'm not going to be singing for y'all. I'm not doing it. You know, I might throw a verse in there or 2 in there. I don't know. We'll see. Make sure y'all hit a like for the algorithm, subscribe to the channel, and turn on your notifications. Let's pivot for 1 second, ladies and gentlemen, and let's talk about something else real quick that I need to bring to the front of the congregation. Tom Homan. All right. Tom Homan had a press gaggle that he basically did that allowed for him to speak directly about the fact that we need more illegals removed from the country. And I think that this is also him having to put on his politician hat because they need to ask Congress for more money, obviously, that we sing. But he also has some conversations, I think, about the Pope that he wanted to highlight. All right. Make sure y'all hit a like for the algorithm, subscribe to the channel, and turn on your notifications. Let's head over to see what Tom Homan had to say about the Pope, as well as removing illegal migrants over from this country. And let's talk about it. Let me present this real quick.
So let's talk about another headline. Meantime, President Donald Trump's mass deportation effort getting some backlash from none other than Pope Francis. In response, Trump's border czar, Tom Homan, is telling the Pope to stick to the Catholic Church. Those are Mr. Homan's words. Let's turn now to CBS News immigration and politics reporter Camilo Montoya Galvez. Camilo, what's the back and forth there? It's not often that we hear a head of government telling the Pope to stick to his job in the Catholic Church.
Well, Reed, Pope Francis has long been an outspoken and vocal advocate on behalf of migrants and refugees. And this week he penned a letter in which he essentially criticized the Trump administration's immigration policies. He said in that letter, Reed, that all countries have the legal right to defend their territory from criminals and others who may endanger the public safety and national security of people within that country. But he also denounced the deportation of migrants and refugees who are fleeing persecution and poverty, saying that that undermines the dignity of human beings. And so obviously border czar Tom Homan took issue with that statement by the Pope, saying that the Vatican, for example, has a fence around that.
We don't want to hear all of that. You know what? Let me go over and I'm going to actually present what he said about the Pope specifically, because we want to go straight to the source. We don't want to keep going back and forth. We want to find out exactly what he said to the Pope. No, not that one. All right, here we go. This is what Tom Homan actually said to the Pope himself. All right.
Because they forced us into it.
Mr. Homan, the Pope this morning had some very harsh words for the.
I got harsh words for the Pope. Pope won't fix the Catholic Church. I'm saying this is a lifelong Catholic. I was baptized Catholic. I was first communion as a Catholic, confirmation as a Catholic. You ought to fix the Catholic Church and concentrate on his work and leave border enforcement to us. He wants to attack us for securing our border. He's got a wall around the Vatican, does he not? So he's got a wall around to protect his people and himself, but we can't have a wall around the United States. So I wish he'd stick to the Catholic Church and fix that and leave border enforcement to us.
He said he got, hey, listen, it ain't no real comment in that. And for whatever reason, y'all think that these religious leaders are they're off. We can't talk about them. You know what I'm saying? Like they off limits. They not. Listen, the Pope don't have no business having no conversation about nothing that happens inside of what we got going on with Border Patrol. They're not an expert. It's not something that they should be participating in. They should not be talking about it at all. The Pope should mind their own business. And the Pope, and it's true, the Vatican has a wall up around it. Why are they not letting everybody into the Vatican? How come they don't let people just walk straight in and do what they want to do inside of the Vatican? We're supposed to do that in the United States of America, but they don't want that happening within the Vatican. Church, listen, the Pope got more problems with little boys. They got for whatever reason, look, we don't hold the Pope and the Catholic Church specifically to the same standards that we hold ourselves. We don't. We don't hold the Catholic Church to the same standards that we hold ourselves. We do not at all. Hey, they just did a payment just late last year where they tried to absolve themselves of responsibility of people that came forward and accused the Catholic Church, new accusers. They paid out hundreds of millions of dollars and then stashed the money. And then they want to sit here and talk about how we need to open our borders. Let me ask y'all another question. Do y'all respect the Catholic Church and the Vatican? Do y'all respect the Pope? How many of y'all done took communion? Do y'all actually respect the Pope? They got a wall up around the Vatican and they telling you to lower the walls in the United States of America to let anybody inside of here. I see nope. I don't see nobody that's saying that they love the Pope. All right, well, I guess we there then. Let's spin over to Tom Homan. Did I just dip out for a second? Oh, let me spin over to Tom Homan, also talking about how we need to make sure that was a little gaggle. I'm using new software. I'm not used to this software. I want to spin over to Tom Homan real quickly also of him talking about how we need to make sure that we need to deport more illegal migrants outside of the United States of America, not less. All right, let's get into it. Make sure y'all tap into the Patreon. Link is in the description as well as pinned to the top of the chat.
Wow.
I hit the wrong button.
Homan, how you doing? We do a few with you real fast, or just real fast. Could you give us clarity about what is happening to the previous terror detainees at Gitmo? Are they being expedited, being returned to their home countries, or are they just being housed with these migrants?
Process. They're not being housed together. The process is still the same. The terrorists are still in the same facility. The process remains the same for them.
Is President Trump still trying to get that terror detention facility closed down so it's fully migrant detention at Guantanamo?
Not my lane. Not my lane. I'm staying with the immigration enforcement.
Mr. Homan, is the president happy with the number of arrests?
I'm not. The rest, you look at the rest in the interior enforcement, about 3 times higher than a year ago today. 3 times higher is good, but I'm not satisfied. There's more criminal aliens that need to be arrested, hundreds of thousands. Sanctuary cities are putting roadblocks up. We got leaks. So we need to increase the arrest of illegal aliens, especially those with criminal convictions. So we're going to continue. So 3 times higher is good. The numbers are good. For me, not good enough. We got to get more.
Mr. Homan, what's your message for the sanctuary cities you just said we're putting up roadblocks? Do you have a message for them for Chicago, for example?
Well, Attorney General Pam Bonnie's going to investigate them. We're going to hold them accountable. Sanctuaries are sanctuary criminals. End of story.
I agree. The sound is a little bit low. That is on their side. That is the people that actually uploaded the video. And so, you know, again, because I'm out of town, I'm going to have to figure out how to be more efficient when I'm out of town, when I'm live streaming, so that I have better audio and stuff like that. But we're going to work through it. The fact of the matter is he's basically saying that he's not happy with the number of illegal migrants that's being deported. We need more. I think that they need more funding. I think that they need some more support from the American people. Could y'all imagine if we were all on the same page, what that would look like inside of the United States of America? I know that we never will be. There's going to be a segment of the population that's always going to disagree, and they're always going to say, no, we're not rocking with it. No, we don't want it. No, we want all of the illegal migrants. We're not talking to children. We're not allowing for women. If we were all on the same page, we could truly make some changes inside of this country. And I'm not saying that we shouldn't have other opinions. I'm not saying that we shouldn't have other people that contribute into this conversation. But man, if we was all on the same page, this country would be so freaking awesome, bro. It would be so great. Like some things we don't even need to have bipartisan agreement on. It's just normal. We shouldn't have open borders. Cool. We shouldn't have men playing in women's sports. You can't affirm that somebody that was biologically born a male go into a woman's bathroom. I mean, that's just unthinkable. It's not something that we would even think about. Like, that's not something that divided us politically when we were younger, in the 90s. You know what I'm saying? In the 80s, the 90s, or whatever. That's not something that would usually divide us. We never had to argue over whether or not a man should go in a woman's bathroom because they believe that they are a man. What's next? We shouldn't have to argue over people coming over here illegally. You broke the law. You broke the law. I'll tell you what. You go and you try to trespass over into somebody else's property. You try to go into a government building. You try to go into a space. Go knock on somebody's door that you're not supposed to go and knock on. Go inside of a place that you're not supposed to be in and see how that fly. They're going to throw you out on your head. Walk into go into a place that you are okay in going in, and then go into an unauthorized part of the building and see what happens. In no place ever is that going to fly. You can't just go into somewhere that you're not supposed to be and do what you want to do when you want to do it. You can't go into another country and do it. You can't go into somebody else's building and do it. You can't do any of that. But for whatever reason, we think that it's okay to do it inside of the United States of America. And then you got the Pope jumping in and doing it. And we want to question whether or not we want to audit the federal government. I'm convinced, man. I'm honest to God convinced that these liberals have been turned y'all upside down, and they turned y'all on your head on something that's not supposed to be. I'm honest to God convinced, bro. 100%. Make sure y'all hit a like for the algorithm, subscribe to the channel, and turn on your notifications. Let's deep dive into this real quick. I'm going to read Super Chat shortly, but I'm going to deep dive into this. I want to talk about illegal migrants arrested out of a food truck. Because really, it's not that I want to talk about it from the lens of, okay, well, this happened, because we know that illegal migrants is getting basically arrested everywhere. That's not something new. But I want to talk about it from the lens of what is right and what is wrong, and how do we justify people being able to do some of the things that they're doing on a regular basis. You know what I'm saying? Make sure y'all hit a like for the algorithm, subscribe to the channel, and turn on your notifications.
More breaking news at 10. Just within the last 45 minutes, the city of Memphis addressed a widely circulating video of employees at Taco Ngana's being taken by federal agents. You're looking at it. The restaurant posted this video late today of the incident at its Cordova location. It's got a lot of people across the city asking questions about ICE in Memphis. Let's go to Fox 13 Sierra Jordan live at the location tonight with what we've learned in the last couple of hours. So, Sierra, what is the city saying about this video? Is this legit?
Yeah, Daryl, Homeland Security investigations confirmed that they were detained by ICE agents. You could see
if you see a place where it says Tacos Ganas, it's a strong possibility that I can find me some illegal migrants over there. I'm just saying. I'm pretty sure that it's not going to be hard to identify people that's not supposed to be here if I go and I look at a taco food truck that's then ran by people that don't speak English. How much you want to bet that it's very easy to find somebody that you're looking for at the taco stand that don't speak English? Because if you were born here, it's a strong possibility that you speak English. If you don't speak English, and I want to go over to we have towns over here, for example. Well, maybe not here in D.C. I don't know what y'all got in D.C. But over in Detroit, we have what you call Mexican Town. We got Mexican Town over in Detroit. For whatever reason, I don't think that they're going to do the Mexican parade this year. I think the Mexican parade is canceled for this year. What do y'all think? What do y'all think? Do y'all think that the Mexican parade is canceled this year? I don't know.
See here, this location is closed. It has been closed all day. The lights are on. It's completely empty. The 3 employees were actually inside of this Tacos Ngana's truck. But like I said before, it has been closed all day because they were detained this morning by the 4 ICE agents. Now, Tacos Ngana's posted this security video on their social media. 4 undercover men entered a Tacos Ngana's truck at 1050 North Germantown Parkway just after 9:30. 3 Tacos Ngana's employees were working inside the truck. Moments later, the federal agents came inside, took their phones, and forced the employees to leave the truck. Now, according to Tacos Ngana's, they did not leave behind any identifying information or paperwork. But the city of Memphis confirmed this action was carried out by federal agents. Now, Fox 13 spoke with a Latino activist who says the recent ICE raids across the country has been sparking fear within the Latino community.
We're seeing citizens get taken. We've seen a veteran get taken in New Jersey. So they're not only coming after the immigrants, it's just racial profiling that they're doing, really.
Oh, it's racial profiling, Holmes. Is it racial profiling, Holmes? It's racial profiling. Again, nobody was saying that it was racial profiling when it was black people. They said stop and frisk, which I was largely in support of. That's how they got New York City cleaned up in a short amount of time. They started stopping and frisking, and if you were somewhere where you wasn't supposed to be, you knew you wasn't supposed to be there, you're going to go back to the Bronx. You going back to where you came from. Now, listen, I never thought in my life that we started talking about racial profiling outside of black people. Never thought that I would be talking about racial profiling outside of the black community. So everybody is now going to be running in the Victim Olympics. Okay, all right, I'm with it.
Topping our headlines on your news leader at 4, a recent ICE raid at a popular local food truck in Cordova has a lot of people talking. The owner says several employees were taken away. Thanks for joining us. I'm Alex Coleman.
And I'm April Thompson. WRAG's Jessica Knox spoke with customers of Taco Ngana's and has their reaction.
The Taco Ngana's location here on North Germantown Parkway is back open for business after a viral video shows several employees being taken by federal agents yesterday. There are still a lot of questions, but those in the community are in disbelief.
Make me really sad because that people, they working hard.
It looks like a kidnapping.
According to the owner of the popular taco truck, it happened early Monday morning. The company's surveillance video shows 3 employees' phones being taken out of their hands, and then they're forced out of the truck by 4 men dressed in street clothes and face coverings. The owner says the men who entered the truck did not have badges or ID. Miguel Valdez is an activist for the Hispanic community. He says the video is very hard to watch.
They said they would get only the people with criminal record, but they are behind workers. You saw that people. You could see the fear in their eyes. The guy on the middle, the guy that was wearing glasses, he was like, they're working.
So does that mean that because you're working that you don't have a criminal record here in the United States of America? If you was over here, you should have been on your best behavior. If you was in another country, they would have deported you immediately. Is it, if you're working, does that mean that you don't have a criminal background? A. B, they did not say that they were limited to only criminals. They said that if a city or a place as a sanctuary city is trying to prevent and assist illegal migrants into this country, the minute that you walked over the border, A, you were a criminal. That's number one. But then it's a possibility that you committed a crime here. And if they are now monitoring and saying, listen, we know where you are, we coming to get you. And if it's other people that's with you that's not legal, then they go into jail too. I don't have any problem with that. I don't have any problem with that, because you know what happens when you get pulled over? For example, let's say, for example, we all riding in a car and the officer looks down and they see a gun down on the lap. What happens is they pulling everybody out the car. They're going to probably arrest everybody, and then they're going to run warrants to see if whether or not, run to see if you got warrants, and they're going to see whoever is there, whether or not you're supposed to be there, or whether or not you was on parole, or whether or not you violated parole, or whether or not you had a warrant out for your arrest. They're going to run everybody's information to find out if you're going to, if you haven't already been arrested, and they tie that gun to you. That's normal. You don't get to go home. You don't pass go. You don't get $200, none of that. It is normal for them to run a warrant to find out whether or not you're somewhere you're not supposed to be. Don't be stupid.
Me from Memphis.
And of course it's going to happen. Is this Memphis's mayor? Somebody told me about Memphis's mayor. I've never known about Memphis's mayor. Paul Young, Homeland Security Investigations, HSI, confirmed that this action was carried out by federal agents.
Mayor Paul Young confirms the employees were detained by federal agents with Homeland Security Investigations.
That's scary. And of course, my people is in shock like me.
Tuesday, workers can be seen preparing the truck for business as usual. We tried talking to employees, but they declined to speak at this time. Those in the community believe the employees' rights were violated and change needs to happen.
Someone is knocking at your door. Do not open the door. Ask, who are you? What do you want? Or just say nothing. You have the right to remain silent.
Are you fearful for your family, your friends?
Of course, yeah. I'm sorry about that. I hope America's changed, because this is not right.
The nerve of you. The nerve of you. Hold on, let me see something.
Your friends?
Of course, yeah. I'm sorry about that. I hope America's changed, because this is not right.
The nerve of you. The nerve of people to come over into this country and have the nerve to say that America is not right, yet you benefit from the very same things. You've benefited from the very same things that you said is not right. You just sat here and said America is not right in America. Tariffs on everybody. Where's ICE at? Where's ICE at? The nerve of you to use our resources, our infrastructure, and barely speak English and to say America is not all right. America is not all right. America is not all right. All right. All right. America is not all right. America is not all right. How dare you to say America is not right? What's not right about America? And it's America. Now I'm America. We don't want no. Anytime I see anybody say no America, we don't have to recognize your rights inside of this country. Tired of people not even being able to pronounce the words. It's America. Not America is not right. Not having it, bro. You're going to have to get yourself together. Make sure you got your rights at the border when you when you came over here illegally and you have the nerve to talk about it in America. How dare you? Not having it. Not in America. Sick of it. I'm sick of it. Make sure y'all hit a like for the algorithm. Make sure y'all hit a like for the algorithm, subscribe to the channel, and turn on your notifications. Let me read some of these super chats, and we're gonna go from there. What we got going on here? There is no alternative. Unfortunately for us New Yorkers, you're stuck with the Democrats forever, says Manuel AG. Eric done sold NYC for a song. I don't trust him. Happy Girl in the building says, didn't the man come to the U.S. a few years ago? He felt Americans had too much. Eric Clay Davis, peddling that same like his senator cousin in Baltimore years ago. Matthew 12:44-45 warns about not having intentional replacement. Courteous Contemplation says, remember the lady that sold her food truck to the illegal that had the check from Wells Fargo? The banks are in on it. Memphis is the 10th most violent city in the world. Not the world, big dog. Maybe America, right? Not the world. Shout out to my Memphis people in the building. I got to come to Memphis. One day, I'm going to come to Memphis. A guy told me that I need to come to Memphis. I'm going to come and visit Memphis, all right? Make sure y'all hit a like for the algorithm, subscribe to the channel, and turn on your notifications. I want to share one more thing with you guys before we get up out of here, all right? I did pivot from one thing that I did want to talk about, but we'll share that tomorrow. I want to talk about one more thing before we get out of here. Y'all ready? I want to talk about layoffs. I want to go into Meta. Meta is supposedly having layoffs.
Employees of one Silicon Valley company.
And this has been kind of proliferating a little bit throughout the sphere. I've been seeing it. So I'm going to talk about layoffs really quickly, and then I'm going to get y'all up out of here for the rest of the day. All right, let's get into it.
You're bracing for pink slips today. Meta, owner of Facebook, is trimming 5% of its workforce. KTVU South Bay reporter Jesse Gary reports now from Menlo Park.
The first day of the work week brings the final day of employment for approximately 3,600 Meta employees. Beginning at 5 a.m. Monday, pink slips went out to what the company calls the lowest performers in an effort to move them out faster.
It appears that they are facing some really serious financial hurdles. Not only did they do rank and file, but they also did C-suite executives. So that's eliminating, that's creating more efficiencies, if you will.
The company classifies the cuts that impact countries from across the globe as performance terminations. U.S. workers are getting the bad news now. Employees in more than a dozen countries in Europe, Asia, and Africa get let-go notices February 11th through the 18th. Meta staffers in Germany, France, Italy, and the Netherlands are exempt from the cuts, according to Reuters, due to local regulations.
They have agreements with those governments, do certain things. And it's more national than it is individual.
The company says it'll expedite the hiring of machine learning engineers and other business critical roles. Some industry experts say employees who have pushed back against returning to full-time office work are being targeted by this second round of Meta reductions.
I told y'all. I told you. I warned you. I 100% warned you. I said, listen, for those of y'all that have not prepared yourself to go back into the office, and this is not just federal workers, but these are workers across the board, be prepared to get let go. All of y'all sitting there telling me about what you want and how much more productive that you are. Okay. Okay. It's not just for the federal government. People are right-sizing a business across the board. Publicly traded companies, privately owned companies, nonprofit organizations, they're right-sizing their companies. And if you are not willing to show your face and be seen, if you think that you are going to be one of these government employees that was getting these checks from the U.S. Treasury until you're 150 years old, you're so off. You're going to be so wrong. Y'all might as well get on board because, and let me throw this in there. Did you see the type of jobs that they're looking for? For all of you people that need to upgrade your skill sets, because I see my ladies all the time. Here, I'm going to come back to this. I see my ladies all the time talking about how many degrees I got. Yeah, girl, I got a degree in this, and I got a degree behind my head, and I got a degree here and a degree here. I'm not going to be affected by diversity, equity, and inclusion because I got 9 degrees. In what? In what? If you're not upgrading your skill set to something that's actually conducive for the company, machine learning engineers, meaning this, they're still hiring. Meta is not laying off people, they're firing underperforming workers, and they're still hiring in other parts of the country. So Meta just had, if you are a part of Stock Club, if you're a part of the Patreon, link is in the description as well as pinned to the top of the chat. Meta just had one of the best quarters that actually buoyed the stock. It made the stock go up. The stock is more valuable than it was before they reported their fourth quarter earnings, the earnings from last year that then completed their fiscal year for 2024. They're doing well. They're not struggling. They're not struggling. They're doing phenomenal from a profitability perspective, and they're spending more money funding research and development that's going to basically deploy new technologies and allow for them to continue to participate in the new industries. And they're looking for machine learning engineers. And machine learning engineers are going to make a crazy amount of money, and they get equity into the company. So, what does that mean? That means that they don't care about you trying to protest inside of the company with your diversity, equity, and inclusion degree. When they start to look at performance-based, they're going to look at it from so many different lenses, including if you are a visible person inside of the office. I've been saying it. I've been preaching it to the top of the mountains, and you got mad at me and you said, I don't like what you said. Little homie, I'm trying to save your job. I'm trying to save your house. I'm trying to not let your house get foreclosed on. I'm trying to allow for you to be able to provide for your children. I'm trying to save you pushing back against me, but I'm sitting here rich as hell. Dog, you have no clue what my life is like. Why are you fighting me? I'm trying to tell you what your life is going to be. I'm trying to save you from layoffs and from being designated as an underperforming employee. You are still fighting me because I'm trying to give you the information.
From 2022 to 2023, the company sacked about a quarter of its workforce, or 21,000 people.
They're targeting the low performing.
What does that mean?
Those that aren't performing up to the standards. Now, apparently, there's another blurb that says that Mr. Zuckerberg has raised the standards. Now, that low performing could be anything from not coming into the office and interacting with the rest of the people. Again, you see where I'm going with that. To simply just working from home and not doing much.
They not playing no games with y'all. Listen, even if they say you can work from home, I would suggest that you designate some time, maybe once or twice a week. If you are a nonprofit employee, or if you work for a government organization, or not even a government organization, if you work for like anything where you get a 403B, you should probably be okay. Unless they start cutting government funding and they start streamlining things. But if you work for like, I don't know, like a major university or something, you probably will be okay. You know what I'm saying? You probably be okay. It's not as competitive trying to stay there, so you should be all right. But if you are a person that's a federal employee, or you are a person that work for a regular company, I'm trying to tell you that you need to get on the ball and really, really, really start focusing, because it is going to be difficult out here. It's going to be rough. They look at an underperforming employee as more than just a person that gets their assignments done. Your assignments is only going to be a small smidget of what it is that they look for. And I tried to tell y'all yesterday, I tried to tell y'all Monday on how you can level up and how you can make yourself more valuable to your organization.
Experts say work from home costs companies in productivity, and many are or will soon move completely away from that option.
If the world is changing, which it sure as heck is for the technology business, getting everybody all in a room to figure out how we're going to do things differently is really important. And even just bringing everybody in for a meeting won't do it. People have to kind of hang out together and cope with the changes.
Meta executives say they will offer.
Meaning, you guys are going to have to start getting yourselves in order and start being willing to be in social again. Ooh, I'm about to say what Molly say. Y'all gonna have to start touching grass. Yeah, you're going to have to start touching grass. You got to work on your social skills, big dog. You got to get comfortable around other people in your space. Human interaction is about to be at an all-time high. We about to get y'all outside. We gonna get y'all married. We gonna get y'all interacting with each other. You gonna get the money. You gonna get the business. You gonna get all of the good things. And you're gonna have to start going outside. Yeah. No more working from home in your little silo. No more not interacting with people. No more thinking that you're better than everybody else. Nope. You got to go outside now. Time to go back outside. Time to go out here and touch grass. Anyways, I love y'all. I appreciate y'all. Y'all are the greatest on earth. I am going to read a few more super chats. I'm glad we fixed that audio issue for a little bit, but we back. And then we're going to get y'all up out of here for the day. No live stream tonight. That's why I've been going back into the office. Smart. Is software engineering a part of Meta? Yeah, they got software engineers. As a truth as old as time, they never get mad at the truth, only the person telling the truth. Agreed. Absolutely agreed. Again, thank you guys for continuing to rock with us. I love y'all. I appreciate y'all. I got more work to do, and then I got to head out for a meeting today. Not sure when I'm going to get back to the crib. Probably get back sometime this weekend. I don't know. Anyways, I love y'all. I appreciate y'all. Get y'all lives together. Stay focused, and let's get up out of here. Peace.